Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. So whether you are looking to do a first clear of the Eternity of Pain acceptance quest, or you're working your way through volume 3 of these Karina's challenges, you're probably expecting to use a bunch of revives and potions. But one small way that you can save yourself some of these items is by getting a solo on Big Boy Dormammu here. So I'm going to talk you through step by step how to get a solo on this guy with Hercules. Why Hercules? Because, let's be real here, that's probably who you're using. You can, of course, solo this guy with a bunch of other champions, Odin, Magic, Spider-Ham, but I'm going to focus on who I think the majority of players are likely to use on this fight. Okay, let's cover the nodes, because even though Hercules is straight busted, it's still really important to understand how the fight works. So your biggest source of damage in this fight is going to be from this no surrender node, which gives you 90% degen resistance below a bar of power, and anytime you knock Dormammu down with the degen on you, it's going to transfer it to him with 1000% potency. So he also has Footloose, which means you want to push him to his special 2 as often as possible in order to avoid this node from triggering too much. And the last one I want to point out here is this enhanced parry node. So when you parry, you're going to get a bunch of power, and in general, you don't really want to do this because more power means less degen resistance and probably more dying horribly. Okay, one last thing I want to note, my Hercules in this video is rank 4, and I had Ouchie Masteries turned on as well. If you're only using a rank 3, you're going to want Ouchie Masteries turned on, and you're going to want to be boosted as much as possible. I say this a lot, but when you're trying to do something like this, it's important to give yourself every possible advantage. Okay, let's walk you through this step by step. So the general idea here is that you want to bait heavies from Dormammu, and then counter with your own heavy. When the precision buff from dexterity triggers a degen, you can then transfer it to Dormammu by knocking him down. Okay, as soon as I see he's over a bar of power, I'm going to start holding block. I don't want him to use that special one. Bait out another heavy and counter it, and now I'm at a bar of power, so I special intercept, finally get a degen to trigger, and transfer it to him, which does about 10% of his health. Unfortunately, that didn't push him over 2 bars, and he threw that special 1. If that happens, just back off until the buffs are nearly gone, and then you can hold block and start the process all over again. You're going to have your feats of strength maxed out very quickly, which is going to come in pretty handy at the end of the fight. Alright, we're going to push him over 2 bars of power here, but I'm close to a special attack, so I want to block and then do another special intercept before we bait out the special 2. I like to do a partial dex of the special 2 in this fight, so what that looks like for me, back up as far as I can, take the first hit on the block, immediately dash back to dex the second and then the third right after that. So there is a bit of RNG in this fight, only in terms of how aggressively Dormammu is going to be using that heavy attack. I had a few runs here where he started the fight by throwing like multiple 5-hit combos right into my block with no heavy, and the block damage is very rough here given that he is a 7-star defender. So if you're running into this problem, just restart until he's more cooperative. Once you finally get a good run going, you're going to find that kind of the flow of the fight makes a bit more sense, and you're really going to get yourself into a rhythm with the heavies and the special intercepts here. Another benefit of using the heavy method is that he's going to be stun immune a lot, so baiting out heavies is pretty much what you need to do anyways. You can also counter his heavy with a special one like I'm about to do right here. It won't count as a special intercept for Herc, but you really do want to keep that degen resistance at 90% for as long as possible. Now since you're running ouchies, you've probably lost a lot of health from recoil, so at the end of the fight here, you're likely going to be very close to triggering immortality if you haven't already. If that happens, stick to the strategy, but instead of tossing your special 1, build to your special 2. Remember, the degen not going to hurt you at this point, so that you can get the stun off, hopefully finish him off before it expires. I don't do that here because I was confident I could kill him before immortality expires, but you may have a different experience. That's all there is to it. Remember, restarting is free. You're probably going to restart a bunch. I think the run that I recorded for this video took me about a half an hour to get. Stay patient, stick with it, and you'll eventually get it done. There's really no need to waste items on this fight, and if I've saved even one of you from having to use a revive here, then I think I've done my job. Okay, folks, if this helped you at all, please let me know in the comments below. One of my favorite things is hearing from people who found my guides helpful. Don't forget to hit like, because every like is one revive that you didn't have to use. As always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.